hear the crowd chanting. I'm sure you can hear them at home as well. So let's set the stage, shall we? Let's look over to the side of Bounty Hunters. Have we found the new South American sensations to step into the Brawl Stars esports community? Can they bring that same ferocity onto the main stage right here? However, it is their first time at an international LAN event, so who knows? And what a bigger task to ask them than to go up against the Brawl Cup reigning champions of Humble. You know, it's a trial by fire. That's all I'm gonna say about it, and we cannot wait to see what happens right here on the main stage. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we get prepared, let's just take a breath and let's find out. Berlin, what do we think of Bounty Hunters? Ooh, look at that. What about Humble? Let's do this.
Wesley, Prosy, Hortox, Loki, Cementech, Bars,
That was my voice, by the way. Fun fact.
Yeah?
Yeah. Many
You got
don't know.
Good baritone.
I know. Yeah. I have to get in the mood though. Can't. Yeah.
You
do
just
that right
can't
now.
bust it out.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
I know
can you
you
do that?
love that.
Will you do that like later?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
If the crowd is loud enough, I might
was Sunny.
think about it. But yeah, we heard already. The EMEA fans really showed up for Humble. I
They're
kind of
out
feel
today.
bad for Bounty Hunters. At the same time, though, LCQ last year was in Sao Paulo, and it was the same exact thing, where yeah, the latent crowd was super loud for their own home region teams.
And how did that go for Casa Brawl?
Well, almost swimmingly, actually, when you look at it. Almost swimmingly. They almost knocked out the world champs. I mean, like, how much of a deviation from reality that could have been if that match went another way, but they did get full reverse swept, and but you got to mention that Tensai did go out and say that that was a reason which really threw them off at the beginning, but they are just unbreakable.
We are on Dueling Beetles for our first map of the day. Now, we want to discuss draft as well with the global bans being in place already. We, of course, see that Sirius, for example, is still left open. And yeah, that's a brawler that just received a nerf on Wednesday. Usually, he was global banned the whole time. And now with that small nerf to his HP, it seems like he's already not as strong anymore to be global banned, but certainly strong enough to be picked, right?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the meta at the moment, it's kind of in a really interesting place. I'm really looking for brawlers like kind of Pierce for me here as well, as like Luki in that capacity is just absolutely disgusting. And it's a brawler that's kind of just beneath those kind of bans too. It's one that will tend to escape through.
I think on maps like Dueling Beetles as well, like you can expect teams, by the way, have been, you know, undefeated using Lumi over the course of the last week in scrims on this map. So having her banned away, that's, you know, just Humble sort of saying, we don't really want to have that first picked against us. We don't have a great answer to it in general. You know, this obviously is the kind of map where you want to try and draft a pretty good side laners and have staying power. Mina allows for that to some degree with that wind wall gadget. She's also great at pressuring down if someone's trying to play a thrower or they're trying to play, you know, someone who's less mobile in a side lane who's just trying to vomit damage. So there's a lot of opportunities to punish like overly aggressive first picks here. I think that in SA, these Bounty Hunters squad are really good when it comes to their drafts. Like, my issue has never really been there for them. They've been very, very solid. I don't often see them get outdrafted. I think they outdrafted the pants off Loud last time they actually faced, and that's a team you'd expect with the resources and coaching staff wouldn't have a weakness there. So I wouldn't be worried about that from them. It's really stage jitters and the execution that we're going to be scrutinizing.
What I always love about those international events is that we get to see different metas from each of the region. Of course, they've mingled over the last 2 weeks, and the metas have gotten closer together, like East Asia maybe brought in a new idea that EMEA took over, and so on and so forth. At the same time, we did see still in the past some specials. Like, for example, our SA special, Juju in the past. I wonder what it's going to be this weekend. We always know NA as a super aggressive region. EMEA has adapted that as well, because the current meta is all about assassins and tanks.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I even posted a meme the other day when it's like a new brawler comes out, make it mythic, make it an assassin. Pretty much kind of like how the dev team is these days. But you mentioned experience, Uber, and being calm and collected on stage, and that is, for me, my little reservation when it comes to bounty hunters, because, you know, certainly Prosy is the most experienced player on this squad. You know, didn't have the best of showings in the World Finals last year, went out in the group stages, and similarly at LCQ in 2023, didn't reach it really out of that group stage. And, you know, Wesley, his last showing was at the World Finals in 2022, losing in that first round of the bracket to Tribe Gaming EU.
You know, Paris, right? He was on the Zest roster.
Zest LATAM. So this is where I really want to kind of see how bounty hunters approach their headspace. Their drafts, I really, really like. I think for me, it's going to come down to, like you say, those kind of stage jitters, and if they're able to keep them at bay.
I also think that they are going up against a team that has very talented individuals. And if you allow Humble to, as the series goes on, if you allow Humble to draft like Chester and Ruffs, like two really solid brawlers, it's going to be tough to get the better of them. No surprise here to see the votes are 83% for Humble to 17% for those of you at event.brawlstars.com. If you haven't got your predictions in, got your votes in, or just honestly set up on that site to make sure you earn yourself some rewards over the course of the weekend, I strongly recommend you make that your home base for all things Brawl Cup.
Take the hints, guys. Take the hints. We strongly recommend that you stay glued to that site. You'll thank us for it later.
So far, EMEA and East Asia has had the greatest success from all of the regions in any global event. We have 3 world winners of EMEA, 3 world winners of East Asia. Now, you already kind of set that up today. We want to see NA and SA take over, and this would be the first chance. If Bounty Hunters truly fell a giant like Humble, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, it will resonate for sure. And, you know, I kind of mean, but I also do have a lot of high hopes for Only Realm. But we've got to talk about Tribe Gaming a little bit too, because as a team from North America that have been a bit of a sleeper, the competition has been getting so increasingly difficult in that region specifically. Last year at Brawl Cup, it was abysmal for Tribe Gaming. It was like their worst performance to date. So that is going to be in the back of their minds too as an organization. They do need to put those demons at rest. And I've got a lot of faith in Killer's abilities when it comes to draft and how Tribe are experimenting. I think in just the right amounts too. Not too much, not too crazy and wacky, but enough to take teams by surprise.
I feel like they've been building up ahead of steam coming into this tournament. Kenny as well, like he put like a video up. He was talking about his predictions, right? He had his teams in like S tier, A tier, whatever. He also had Tribe in that S tier. Felt like this is probably the time for them to really show up and show out. Because remember how their World Finals ended? It was 2 double match point scenarios that they lost that ended up having them knocked out of the tournament up against what was Humble and Crazy Raccoon. And so like you are going up against the very best and you are almost getting there. I really felt like they were just on the outside looking in. Now last Brawl Cup, it was Loud. Unfortunately, Loud fell on the wrong side of the narrative because they were the team that got beat by Toxic Lotus on their Cinderella run to finally propel themselves into a top 4. So they're the ones that, you know, kind of look bad in that scenario, but it was a really close series. It went to all 5 sets. That was a team I feel like that is, you know, it's been a long time since, was it 2021 finals run from INTZ? I mean, so it's...
Bucharest, baby.
We have... I was in a TV box. I was at that event at the time. So that's going back a long time. It's been, you know, ages since we've really seen, you know, South America stand up. And last year we got to see some of the younger blood, right? We also saw, you know, the same torchbearers, the Loud guys, you know, Adinho and stuff like that. We also saw, like, you know, Pekka and Jubileo, Motep on that, I think it was Pioneers, I think, with that event, or Elevate, I'm not sure. They're still around, right? Still good to see some of those over the course of this year, but this is the roster of, like, the non-Brazilian players out of South America. And last year we got to see the youngsters that are really hungry. Some of the younger blood. And I expect to see them deliver. We also saw, you know, the same torchbearers, the Loud guys, you know, Adinho and stuff like that.
We're going to find out very, very soon as the players are getting ready to start the draft. But I would definitely advise all the viewers here in this pool and also at home to keep an eye out for Chinese rosters, the SA West, and of course NA and SA. These are the regions that we still want to see perform super well also on a global. We're going to find out, by the way, we're here in the Uber Eats Hall, 4,500 seats at max capacity.